Hi guys, I'm Ali McCoist and I am here with the unenviable and bordering on impossible task of picking my all-time Rangers 11. And it is impossible. Well, a difficult decision right away is in goals. Who am I going to go for in goals? And I'm going to go for Andy Gorham. Excuse me, I played with Andy for a great number of years. Shot stopping, incredible. Brave as a lion. You know, terrific. He had good centre-backs in front of him. You could argue maybe he didn't come off his line as much as he should have. He didn't need to. As I said earlier, honestly, he played with centre-backs that would head everything away, whether it was Goff, Butcher, guys that just commanded it. Andy was as brave as a lion, a brilliant goalkeeper. Honourable mentions, Chris Woods I played with as well. Chris was a terrific goalkeeper. Come up from England, obviously with Terry Butcher at the time, and was excellent for us. And clearly Alan McGregor. Alan McGregor's been an absolutely wonderful servant to Rangers. And I will never forget his save in Bremen. And that, his save in Bremen was just absolutely ridiculous. So honourable mentions to Griggs, and he'll give me a bit of stick. But I played with Gorham. Griggs, come on, give me a break. I played with him. So there you are. It gets really, really difficult here now defensively. I thought about going with a 3 because I want to get as many attack-minded players in my team as humanly possible. So I'll start with a 3. I'm going to go for a kind of 3-5-2. And bizarrely and madly, a lot of people would say, when I'm going for this 3, I can't believe I'm not having Sandy Jardine in my 3 at the back. But at this moment in time, if I'm playing 3, if I'm playing a 4, Sandy's in it all day. But if I'm playing a 3, I'm going to go for Richard Goff, Terry Butcher and John Greig. Which I'm sure most Rangers fans, if not all Rangers fans, would agree would be able to handle anything defensively. The 3 of them at their peaks were sensational football players, brilliant defenders, great attitudes, all captains that you'd want to play for, led by example, didn't ask you to do anything they wouldn't do themselves. Scottish captain, England captain, you know, and Greggy, most appearances for Rangers in history. That would be some back 3. As I say, if I am going for a 4, Sandy would probably be right back. Across the middle, 2 guys that have been in my team would be Laudrup and Gascoigne, who were geniuses, absolute geniuses for different reasons. Brian was an incredible talent, he really was, as was Paul. So I'm going to go Laudrup on the right, Gascoigne in 1. I'm going to have Graham Souness sitting. Now, and it's another one that would be up for debate. I don't think there's any doubt that Graham Souness was one of Scotland's, or has been one of Scotland's greatest players of all time. But I think probably even Graham would say that perhaps his best days were not at Rangers. But he's in my team. They're a phenomenal player. And in the left-hand side, I'm going for Jim Baxter and Davy Cooper. And I need to tell you, my hand on my heart, that midfield is as good as anything you'll get anywhere on the planet. I really believe that. Think about what I've just said to you there. Laudrup, Gascoigne, Souness, Baxter and Cooper. I mean, for a lot of guys, perhaps younger guys didn't know Jim Baxter. Jim Baxter was a phenomenal player. Jim legendary played keepy up at Wembley the time Scotland became world champions, because we were the first team to beat England when you guys won the World Cup. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but that automatically made us world champions that particular day. And Baxter was playing keep up. Jim was a phenomenal talent. Slightly before my time. I didn't see enough of Jim as I would have liked to, but reputation goes before him as well. And the left-hand side, I've got Davy Cooper, arguably one of the most talented players I ever played with, Davy. And Davy wasn't quick. He only had 1 foot. He couldn't tackle, and he couldn't head the ball. And I'm telling you right now, he's one of the best players I've ever played with in my life. Ruud Gullit, in fact, has Davy Cooper in his best ever team. There you are. That'll tell you about the talent that Davy Cooper had. I remember we played Ruud Gullit, I think one of his first games. He came over to Ibrox, I think he played with Cruyff. We played, I can't remember what it'd be, but early 80s anyway. And I think Cruyff played on the side with Ruud Gullit. And I think Davy's performance that night stuck with Ruud Gullit. The great story about Coop as well is, as I've just said to you, his left foot was a wand, an absolute wand. And God bless him, at his testimonial dinner, all the boys had to get him a present. And we thought, you know, what can we get the man with effectively everything, you know? and we presented him, I know, the one thing that Davy Cooper does not have, and we presented him at the dinner with a right leg, right? It's brilliant, because he didn't have a right leg, and we went to one of the shops in the town, one of the model dummies, and we took the right leg off it and got it wrapped up. We presented it to Coop at his testimonial dinner. Went down really, really well. But there's my midfield, and you know something, the more I think about it, dear me, what a midfield it is. Laudrup, Gascoigne, Souness, Baxter and Cooper. And I'm playing somebody in a number 10 role, and I'm playing one centre forward. Centre forwards are nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible. Mark Hateley, phenomenal for Rangers. Mo Johnson, I thought wee Mo, brilliant. Wee Mo's first year at Rangers when he signed, I honestly believe he was in the top 3 strikers in the world at that particular time. I played with him for a good number of years at international level, and I played with him at Rangers. And his first year at Rangers, I stand by, he was one of the top 3 strikers in the world at that period. But he's not getting in my team just for longevity. I'm going for Derek Johnson up front himself, because Derek was my hero growing up as a kid. I was fortunate enough to play with Derek. His goal scoring record is absolutely phenomenal, considering the number of games he played also at centre half and didn't take any penalties, he keeps reminding me. So his goal scoring record gets him in just ahead of, plus he's, as I said, my hero, just ahead of Mark Hateley and wee Mo. And of course there's other great Rangers centre forwards as well, you know, Jimmy Miller and Ralphie Brand and all these guys as well. So it's virtually impossible. One missing, and I'm playing him in front of the midfield and just behind the big centre forward, that's Ian Durrant. Ian Durrant, along with Davy Cooper, 2 best homegrown players I ever played with, I ever saw. I'll tell you how good Ian Durrant was. Before his injury, both the great Ray Wilkins and Graham Souness both said that Durrant was the best young player they'd ever seen in their lives. And believe me, he was, without doubt. He was box to box. His stamina, his timing of runs into the opponent box was absolutely incredible. But I'll tell you how good he was. He got an injury, a career threatening injury and a career defining injury in a game up at Aberdeen. And he was that good, he completely transformed his game and turned into more of a passing midfielder. Still got himself forward, but he just perhaps wasn't as mobile as he once was. But his brain, his intelligence was his greatest asset by 100 miles. And after an injury which would have ended most players' careers, he come back, transformed his game, turned into another type of player, back playing Champions League, back playing international football. Brilliant player. So there's my 11 for you. I'll run through it again. As I say, I can't believe I've not got Sandy Jardine in it. There's guys that, I mean, there's just so many I could. If I'm playing my 4, I said earlier, if I'm playing my 4-4-2, I change it. Sandy's my right back all day. Gary Stevens would consider himself unlucky. Gary was brilliant for us. Trevor Stephen was brilliant for us. But I'm going 3 at the back. I'm going Andy Gorham in goals, who I would suggest would have a quiet 90 minutes, right? I'd then go Richard Gough, Terry Butcher, John Gregg. 5 across the middle. Laudrup, Gascoigne, Souness, Baxter, Cooper, Durrant in front, and big Derek Johnson. Apologies to those who haven't made it, but I'll probably change my mind tomorrow and you'll get back in. Captain, could any of the 3 at the back, right? Or Souness for that matter. I've got a decision to pick out the 4 of them. Do I go for Souness, Gough, Butcher or Gregg? John Gregg's my captain. I'm manager. There's no doubt about it. I've picked that team, so I'm manager, and my co-manager is without doubt Walter. In fact, Walter's manager and I'm his assistant. I don't mind that at all. That would be my dream. That would be the dream. Walter manager, me assistant manager, and that's my team.